welcome back to my channel. Hope you're having a great day. Today's video has been something that I wanted to record for a while. I watch these kind of videos a lot on YouTube, and I've known I made a lot of dumb mistakes when it comes to purchases, whether it was like recently or back then. I just thought that what I have done, I think it would teach someone else a lesson. If you guys like these kind of videos, make sure you throw a thumbs up. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you are new here, and let's just get straight into the video. Alright, so number one is doing payments on a car. Back to 2013 when I was 22 years old. I was very not myself, kind of always trying to follow others. So long story short, couldn't afford to do a real payment on a car, like real dealership, because they wanted credit. I didn't have credit back then. So I ended up at a buy here, pay here. The main reason why I decided to do this was because all my friends back then had nice cars. So that was like, oh my god, like I need to do something. Like I'm still driving around in a 1995 car. I need something new. I ended up going on a Monday to a buy here, pay here, and by Tuesday I owned a 2007 Cadillac STS. By Wednesday, the car was on the road. I had $3,400 in the bank. I put it all down on the car. Didn't even go to the car. $100 went to the car, and the rest of that $3,300 went to hidden fees. The dealership that I went to wasn't really a dealership. It was like a scam ship, I swear. So anyways, let me break down the money for you. I have it written down here. $3,300 went to the hidden fees. $100 went to the car. The car was $12,000. It had 99,000 miles on it. Really bad deal. Payments for the car was $348 a month. Now, called my insurance company. They notified me telling me that I can no longer have basic coverage when I did for my old car. I had to have full coverage because I was doing payments and I was loaning a car. So I said, yeah, no problem. $300. So we're looking at $648 a month on a car. That's literally almost my rent for this apartment. I was having fun. I paid it, this and that. I never had a dime to my name, like never, because not only was I paying $648 a month, the car was also a V8. Now, if you guys don't know, but cars go by cylinders on how much gas that they use depending on the size of the motor and all that stuff. V8s are normally trucks and SUVs, not a car. I really was putting in $30 every 2 days in that gas tank. Car was eating money. By now it was eating money. I had fun with it for a little while, showing it off, doing my thing with it. Finally came to the conclusion something was wrong with the car. Like it wasn't running the way when I got it. I'm not a crazy driver. I literally only went from like work, around the beach with it, you know, here and there. I don't speed. The car ended up being a salvage title, which means that the car was totaled and then they repaired the whole car to sell it as new again. Okay. Well, when I went to go get it checked, the transmission was going. Not only was I paying $648 a month, but I was gonna fix the transmission. No, that was my last straw. I ended up bringing it back, and they told me I needed to pay $800 to bring it back. I ended up paying the $800 to bring it back. 6 months later, they ended up putting it on my credit. Remind you, I had no credit, so now I have bad credit from that car. And they put $2,400, which they were trying to charge me for the transmission. They were saying that the door was busted, which it was not. But stupid me back then didn't take pictures, didn't think of like an adult back then, because I was actually just a kid, like a little kid. So I ended up fighting the case. It got dismissed. It's not on my credit anymore. My credit's completely fixed. Oh, so happy for that. But yeah, so I ended up wasting a ton of money on a car that I really bought only to show off. So that was one of the dumbest things I spent my money on. Number two is partying. Now, I'm not much of a party person, but back then when I was 19 to 21, I went through a really tough time where I broke up with my ex. We were dating for 4 years, so we broke up when I was 19. From me being 19 to 21, I was in like this really depressing stage where I needed to be around people because I was always around him, so I felt the need of others. So I met friends and this and that, and then we just decided to go out Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Now let me break down the money for you guys with this. $20 to get in the club, $20 Thursday, Friday, and Saturday each night. $30 for breakfast, because when you leave the club you want to eat. So I would usually spend around $30 to $50 on breakfast. $40 on alcohol. I didn't drink much, but even if you don't drink much, it was just so damn expensive. I used to spend a week like $60 to $80 on an outfit. Like, I would literally be like, no, I can't wear that again. I wore that last Saturday at the same club. I need to go to a different store and purchase another dress. Yep, when it came to another dress, it came to different shoes, it came to different accessories. You name it, I bought it. Yes, regardless, I did live at home when I was doing all this. I was actually never home. I was always sleeping at my friend's house at the time. And that was a really tough stage in my life. I don't regret it because you learn from it, but I did gain a ton of weight. So it just wasn't a good fit, and I also wasted a ton of money that could have been in my savings and could have been used for something more, I don't know, smarter than partying. Now let's flash back to when I was partying. Fast food was my daily meals back then. Obviously, all those years when I was partying and stuff, I wasn't vegan. I didn't know what vegan was. I didn't know anything about being healthy. So I used to have a best friend back then. We were both in this like breakup stage. She broke up with her boyfriend, I broke up with mine. So we were both like in the party stage and fast food stage. It was like every day we would get McDonald's for breakfast and like Applebee's for lunch, and then like Chinese food for dinner. I ended up spending a lot. Most of my checks were for food. Like, I used to eat like 4 breakfast burritos from McDonald's with 2 hash browns. That was just my breakfast meal. I gained a lot of weight. I think that was my heaviest point in my life, which I was like, I think it was like 165 or 7 pounds. It wasn't helping my weight, nor it was helping my bank account as well. So that is also the dumbest thing that I spent my money on. I never was great in school, but I ended up getting a school loan. It was only to also like impress my ex, because he recently graduated from his college, and I was like, well, maybe to win him back, maybe I should just go to school and show him that I can do it too. Didn't think of any money at all at that time either, or the debt that I was going to be in. I went to a trade school. I was around 21 or 20, around that era. I decided to pick up pharmacy tech. I thought pharmacy tech was going to be easy back then, because you know, it's just putting pills in a bottle. What's so hard about that? I was so wrong, because there was a lot of math involved, a lot of abbreviations involved, a lot of medical terminology involved, and my mindset was not ready for that back then. My mindset was I just wanted a degree and just show him that, look at me. So it was really stupid of me. I didn't finish school. After 8 months within the program, I ended up quitting, and I quit like before the summer. So after the summer, coming towards fall, I got a bill in the mail for $13,000. Totally ignored it. I said, yeah, right, I'm not paying that. A year later, I got another notice in the mail saying if I don't pay it, the government will take my taxes. So when tax season comes around, that's something I really look forward to, because it's extra money. So I was really scared back then, because I was like, crap, let me call the school. I don't want them taking my taxes. I called them. They told me to do a minimum payment of $10 a month. I said, okay, sure, I can do $10 a month. What the lady didn't tell me was that $10 a month was going to hurt me more than not paying it. The $10 a month put me in an interest debt. And so the $13,000 ended up turning to $14,000 within 1 year. I was $1,000 in debt in just interest, and my interest rate was like 28.7 back then, something like that. I was doing the $10 a month, and it wasn't helping me. So finally, in 2015, when I started my minimalist journey, started becoming more of myself than trying to be like everyone else, I was like, you know what, let me contact school and try to really get this bill off my head. I am still to this day paying that debt. I pay $120 a month. I finally got the loan down from 14 grand to $9,000 in, I would say, like 2 to 3 years. So I'm doing pretty good. I wish I could pay more. Probably the biggest, dumbest ways that I've ever wasted money. Also wasted my time. Number 5 is tanning. I used to tan a lot back then, and I used to spend $50 a month on tanning. I did this for about a year. I got my first tanning package when it was like prom season. So my prom was back in 2010, and people were like, oh, well, you need to go tanning, you know, you're so white, so I always listened to people back then, and I was like, okay. So I went tanning. Kind of became an obsession. I would go Monday through Sunday. It was really bad, and I wasted $50 a month because I wasn't going to, like, I wasn't doing like the cheap one. So think of it, 2 months passed, that's $100. Like, it just kept adding up. The ways that I stopped doing that was I ended up getting a scare. I know a little like TMI, but I ended up getting like a rash under my right breast, and I was really scared. I went to the doctors, and she told me and asked me, do I tan? And I said yes. She goes, well, you erupted something in there. It's probably like a fatty tissue. She's like, but I do highly suggest that you stop tanning because it can cause skin cancer, wrinkling. And she showed me all these pamphlets and really gave me the information that I needed to stop that. So, but the minute she told me that is when I stopped. So I wasted, so it was like $50 times 12 months. That's how much money I've wasted. Number 6 is makeup. Makeup was like my one true love back then, right when YouTube started getting really big, and I used to follow all the beauty gurus and wanted what they had. I ended up spending like, it was like $100 to $200 a month on makeup. I would literally drive to CVS, drive to Walgreens, and just pick up whatever was on clearance. Probably like, I think I would buy like even stuff that wasn't a good color for me. I would buy like yellow eyeshadow and green eyeshadow, like just to have it. The sales weren't even really sales. It would be $10, and then the palette will be $9, so it'll be $1 off, and I used to be like, yep, getting it. So I wasted a lot of money on makeup because once when I started my minimalist journey, I ended up throwing it all out because it expired. So all that money went down the drain. And yeah, that was something that was very dumb decision as well. And number 7 is something that I didn't want to talk about, but it's plants. You guys know plants are like everything to me. I think having plants in the house not only provides really clean air quality, but it also is kind of like a friend. I know it sounds a little weird. I feel like I'm not alone because they're also living things as well. I got this apartment last June. That was before I started my YouTube channel. I had a lot of plants. If you guys not see my previous video from like a month ago, I went through a thing where I had like those little worms, the millipedes, in a majority of my plants. Obviously, I don't get plants for free. They're not free. I do spend good money on plants. So my plants range from $15 to $20 each. I had 48 plants. They seemed okay, but once when I checked the soil, those things were in them, and I had to chuck a lot of plants out. So from 48 plants down to 11 plants. So I wasted a lot of money on purchasing plants and also purchasing that soil, that crappy soil that I was using. So that was definitely a waste of money because those big bags like are not cheap either. They were like $15 to $20. I did waste a lot of money and realizing that less is more. So I'm very content and happy with the 11 plants that I have. I wish I never would have purchased all those other plants because they ended up dying, and it was a big waste of money. Anyways, you guys, I really hoped you enjoyed that video. I didn't want to go too into depth with each story because I didn't want this video to be crazy long. We're all not perfect. I'm not perfect. I'm still learning each day. I don't regret anything that I've learned in the past. I think I do take it all into consideration, and I'm a true believer of that everything happens for a reason and made me the person that I am today. And also follow me on my Instagram. My Instagram is mostly dedicated to my plants, but I do have a couple like subscribers that message me on there, and I chit chat with them. Nice to hear from you guys and hear your video suggestions, and also just to say hi here and there. I will catch you guys in the next video.